Hello and welcome everybody. Today I am going to talk about emotional intelligence. Let us start with an example. We all have seen cases where two students were equally academically bright in their school and college days. They have shown equal academic excellence. However, when they enter into job and family life, one of them becomes more successful than the other. So, what may be the reason for one of the students to be more successful in his personal, social, and work life compared to the other? And the reason lies in emotional intelligence. We can say that the person who has become more successful in personal, social, and work life has more emotional intelligence. What is this emotional intelligence? What does it mean? What does it consist of? And what are the ways to improve upon this emotional intelligence? All these things we will discuss today in this session. Now there are two terms here. One is emotions and the other is intelligence. Now when we say the word emotion, the picture that comes to our mind is that there are different types of emotions: happiness, anger, jealousy, fear, sadness, etc. When we say that a person is very intelligent or a person has good intellectual ability, we usually think that the person has good thinking ability, the person has good reasoning ability, the person analyzes things well, uses good decision and good judgment, and takes a proper decision. So usually when we say intelligent, these characteristics come to our mind. Now the general assumption is that when we talk about intelligence, emotions do not, or rather should not, enter into the picture. It is considered that emotions are a hindrance or a barrier to intelligent thinking. Now this is not true. We can say that emotions has important role because emotions give us involvement, and involvement makes us more effective. For example, when we do certain works with emotions into it, with our emotions, we are more involved into the particular work and we become more effective in whatever we do. So that is why we say that emotions give us involvement, and when we do certain things with involvement, naturally it leads to we ourselves becoming more effective. So we can say that emotional intelligence is crucial to success. Now, this does not mean that the traditional academic intelligence or the scholastic intelligence is not important. Of course, the scholastic intelligence has its own importance. It is very much required to study well or excel in the academic field. However, when we enter the real life situation where we need to deal and interact with others, with other people, and in different types of situations, there the role of emotional intelligence becomes more important. Now here we can say that there are two types of mind. One is cognitive mind and the other is, we can say, emotional mind. So that is why these two things, when we say emotional intelligence and the traditional academic intelligence, these two are not same. There is a difference between IQ, which refers to the scholastic intelligence that we traditionally mean, and there is a EQ, or that is emotional quotient, which is a measure of emotional intelligence. So there is a difference between IQ and EQ. So we can say that IQ is not equal to EQ. Now, as I said, there is we can say about a cognitive mind that human beings have and an emotional mind that all of us have. So this, when we say that is, I think IQ and I feel IQ. So for a better output, there should be a blend between I think IQ and I feel IQ. That is the head, which refers to IQ, and the heart, which refers to EQ. There should be a proper blend between the head and heart. That is the emotions as well as the thinking. Feeling, emotions and the thinking. These things should go together in order to arrive at a better output. So that is why emotional intelligence, which combines the I think part as well as I feel part. The I think IQ and I feel IQ, which the emotional intelligence combines these two, and that is why we are able to arrive at a better decision or a better output. Okay, so now when we say that this is the thing that where the head and the heart, or the IQ and the thinking as well as the feeling part should go together. So that the question that arises here is that emotions and intelligence, should they go together or can they go together? This question we can say that yes, they should go together, because as I have already said that emotions give us involvement. When we do things with emotions, putting our emotions into a particular work, we are more involved into that particular work. And when we are more involved, naturally the product will be more effective. So that is why emotions and intelligence should go together, and that is which is called emotional intelligence. Now, to give you an example with regard to this, we all know this example that the boss in the office gets angry at the employee, and the employee cannot retaliate to the boss, and then the employee goes home and bursts at his wife. The wife gets angry and upset and takes it out on the child. Now the child cannot say anything back to the mother and beats the pet dog. Now the poor pet dog cannot do anything about the whole situation, and he doesn't take food and creates a tantrum. So here what we see in this entire situation is that there is a need to learn to be aware of the emotions and to manage these emotions. So we can say that emotions need to be, handled or managed in a proper way. Or we can put it in different words, emotions need to be managed intelligently. So that is why emotional intelligence, the concept, has come. Now in organizational words, it is said that a person is hired on the basis of IQ, that is the scholastic intelligence or the academic intelligence. But a person is fired on the basis of EQ, that is emotional quotient. That means a person needs the scholastic intelligence or this thing to get into a particular job. But once the person is in a job, the person needs to be interacting with different people, needs to he comes across different types of situations, and he has to interact with different people, where the emotional intelligence has more important role. That is why this is very much important for success in personal as well as social and work life. There should be a blend between both the traditional intelligence as well as the emotions to achieve at a better output. Now here, as I said, that what is this term emotional intelligence means. Now we can say that basically the term emotional intelligence refers to awareness and awareness about our emotions, and awareness about our emotions in relation to self as well as in relation to others. Now the concept of emotional intelligence has been there in existence since the time of Thorndike, when he talked about the concept of term of social intelligence. Now, but the term emotional intelligence was introduced by Peter Salovey and John Mayer in the year 1990, and it was popularized by Daniel Goleman in the year 1995 with the publication of his book Emotional Intelligence, Why It Matters More Than IQ. Daniel Goleman is called the pioneer in the field of emotional intelligence. Here we can see that emotional intelligence mainly consists of four components, that is self-awareness and self-management, and then social awareness, and then relationship management. Self-awareness, as it refers to awareness of one's emotions. What are the different types of emotions we face in different types of situations and in relation to different types of people? In our day-to-day interactions, we come across so many situations and we come across so many people. So what are the different types of emotions that we undergo through, that we experience in relation to different types of people and different types of situations? That is being aware of one's own emotions. Now, unless we are aware about our own emotions, how can we try to know about others' emotions? So that is why the first crucial thing is that knowing about one's own emotions. And now when the person is aware about one's own emotions, the next step is learning how to manage those emotions. That is called self-management or managing one's emotions. The third component is social awareness, that is knowing about other people's emotions. This is very important because in our personal life, in our social life, we need to interact with others. Now we need to know what are the different types of emotions they face or they experience, and accordingly we can respond to their behavior in an appropriate manner. So that is why these four aspects are the key aspects of emotional intelligence. If we see this thing before we proceed further, if we analyze all these four components, we can see that emotional intelligence mainly consists of two aspects, that is, one is called intrapersonal intelligence and the other is called interpersonal intelligence. Now intrapersonal intelligence refers to intelligence in relation to, it refers to ourselves, the knowing, the awareness about one's own self. And the interpersonal intelligence refers to awareness about the other person, in relation to awareness of emotions in relation to the other person. So that is why intrapersonal and interpersonal intelligence. Now before we proceed further, let us clarify certain misconceptions that are prevalent with regard to emotional intelligence. The first thing is that generally people feel that emotional intelligence means not expressing your emotions or suppressing your emotions. However, it is not correct. Emotional intelligence refers to expressing your emotions in an appropriate manner. Another misconception here is that emotional intelligence means being nice. This is also not correct, because emotional intelligence does not mean being nice or saying nice things, but it refers to being effective, because sometimes you need to express your emotions in order to become effective. You need to express your emotions for a right cause or for a right reason. Okay, so that is why it is not that always emotional intelligence refers to always saying nice things and being nice things. Rather, it refers to being effective in a particular situation. Another thing is that emotional intelligence, another misconception with regard to emotional intelligence is that it means not using your rational thinking. Usually people say that emotional intelligence means there is no place for rational thinking. This is also not correct, because emotional intelligence, as I have explained earlier, is that it involves the blend of both intelligence as well as, that is, rational thinking, as well as the emotions. So emotions are there, but in the same time we should not give in to our emotions. Rather, emotions should be managed in a rational manner or in an intelligent manner. So that is why this perception that emotional intelligence means there is no rational thinking, it is not correct. There is a proper blend of both thinking part as well as feeling part, and that is what the result or the output is emotional intelligence. Now what are the characteristics of an emotionally intelligent person, or who can we say that an emotionally intelligent person is? So let us see some of the characteristics of emotionally intelligent person. Now before this, I would like to describe one experiment here. The experiment is called marshmallow experiment, and this marshmallow experiment was done by Walter Missel. This experiment involves 5-year-old children, and in the experiment, the experimenter gave one marshmallow to the 5-year-old children, and the children were told that they can eat this one marshmallow, but if they can wait for another 15 minutes, then the experimenter will bring them another marshmallow. So the children were given the option of eating the one marshmallow that was given to them, or the other option was that they can wait for another marshmallow to come, and then they can eat both the marshmallows together. It was found that some children were able to wait, and some children could not wait, and they ate the first marshmallow. These children were followed up, and it was observed that those children were able to wait more successful in their later life in relation to their personal, social and work life. Those children were able to wait, they were found out to be more successful. Now here the important characteristic that is exhibited with regard to emotional intelligence is controlling the impulse or delay in gratification. So this delay in gratification, or the ability to delay one's satisfaction of desires, that is gratification, is very important when we talk about emotional intelligence. Now let us see some of the other characteristics of emotionally intelligent person. These are called being aware of one's emotions, and being able to delay gratification or satisfaction of his desires, which this particular experiment showed. And they are able to, these emotionally intelligent persons, they are able to motivate themselves, they are able to take the initiative, they have good interpersonal relations or communication, they can handle stress, setback or frustration appropriately, and they show positive attitude, and they are optimistic, and they can assert themselves, that is, they can express their emotions whenever the situation demands it in an appropriate manner. And of course, they are very resilient in the face of adversity. These characteristics which these people possess, because of these characteristics, they get success in their personal, social as well as work life. When we discuss about the advantages of emotional intelligence, we can discuss it under four headings, that is academic, personal, social and work life. Now when we talk about academic sphere, emotional intelligence leads to better academic achievement, and also it results in better peer adjustment. Now in personal and social life also, as we are required to deal with others and interact with others, becoming aware of our own emotions and becoming aware of others' emotions makes us communicate better in our relationship, makes us taking better decisions with regard to our relationships, and it leads to wise and appropriate behavior also. And in workplace also, we can see that it develops leadership qualities and better professional progress. And ultimately we can say that emotional intelligence, it helps us in managing stress, dealing with different types of conflicts, and achieving positive mental health. Now when we say that emotional intelligence has so many benefits, and it plays a crucial role in success in our different aspects of life, the natural question that arises here is that, can it be improved? Can we develop emotional intelligence? The answer is yes. The good thing about emotional intelligence is that it can be developed, it can be nurtured. Now, what are the ways in which emotional intelligence can be developed? Let us see. There are four main aspects which we talk about when we say that how to develop emotional intelligence. Now, these four main things are being aware of one's emotions, managing one's emotions, being aware of others' emotions, and managing others' emotions. Now, different activities, exercises, discussions, and role plays are used to help one in becoming aware of one's emotions and to learn how to manage one's emotions. Now here I have described two activities in relation to developing awareness of one's emotions and of others' emotions. Now let us see what does these activities consist of. The first one is self-awareness. Here different different emotions are given. When do you feel these emotions? That one has to respond. For example, like I'm most happy when, I feel embarrassed when, I feel sad when, or I get angry when, or I feel motivated when. So these activities will make oneself being aware about different types of situations or different types of people which or who give rise to all these types of emotions. So this is the first step with regard to when we say that how to develop emotional intelligence. The first thing is that to become aware of about one's own emotions. And the other activity that is awareness about others. These different activities, things will help one in developing awareness about others' emotions. This consists of different questions. So all these things help us in finding out how, to what extent we think about others, we take into consideration the emotions, the feelings that others experience. Okay. Now, so when we talk about developing emotional intelligence, the first step is becoming aware of one's emotions, and the second step is managing emotions. Now, towards this end, that is managing emotions, there are different ways. So let us see those things. That is, the first step is obvious, emotional awareness. Second is improving non-verbal communication, because non-verbal communication, non-verbal language also plays a crucial role in expressing our emotions. So that is why we need to understand our non-verbal language and improve upon it. And other things that help, like building up a good positive attitude, also helps us in managing our emotions. Developing resiliency, maintaining a diary, or maintaining an emotional journal, and building an attitude of gratitude. All these help us in managing emotions. So today we discussed about what is emotional intelligence, the meaning of it, the components of emotional intelligence, and the misconceptions, the characteristics of emotional intelligence, and the ways to improve emotional intelligence. To conclude, we can say that emotional intelligence plays an important role in our life, and emotions are a part and parcel of our life. Hence, we should not suppress our emotions, or we should not deny our emotions. Rather, we should accept our emotions, we should acknowledge our emotions, and emotions need to be managed in a constructive way. That is, emotions need to be managed in an intelligent way. That is emotional intelligence. Now, to end this, I would just say a quote from Aristotle, that is, anyone can become angry, that is easy, but to be angry with the right person at the right time and for the right purpose and in the right way, that is not within everyone's power, and that is not easy. So this is a quote by Aristotle. So I'll end with this, because this sums up emotional intelligence. So thank you for listening.